Welcome back, true believers, elite legend. Back at you guys with another action figure review straight from the Elite Zone. Here we see the Ringside Collectible Exclusive Elite Collection Mr.T versus Roddy Piper 2-pack. This is celebrating and commemorating their WrestleMania 2 encounter, in which they faced off in the famous boxing match. There we see Roddy Piper on the side of the packaging. We see Mr. T and Roddy Piper in their boxing gloves and boxing attire with respective ring robes. Figure features FX photoreal technology. There we see Mr. T. Let's go ahead and take a look at these figures outside of the packaging. Now here we see Roddy Piper and Mr. T outside of the packaging and on the 360 display. We can see Mr. T is in the red and yellow ring robe. Mr. T is a Hulkamaniac, teamed with Hulk Hogan at the very first WrestleMania, and the animosity between Mr. T and Piper spilled over into WrestleMania 2, where they faced off in the boxing match. We see Roddy Piper has the plaid ring robe, and the likeness on this figure is amazing. We'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. And here we have a closer look at the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper and Mr. T. This is actually our second Mr. T in the Mattel line. We had the SDCC version earlier this year, and we've had several versions of the Hot Rod Roddy Piper. However, this is probably my favorite head scan and obviously the best. We'll take a look at those in just a few moments. Here we see the 3 Roddy Pipers that I will be having in my display. I have plans for the Ringside Collectible Exclusive 2-pack. This is by far my favorite head scan for Piper. I have the initial head scan somewhere in my bin, but in the center we see the Target Exclusive Hall of Fame Collection Piper. However, I added the custom Hot Rod t-shirt. This is a look to commemorate his appearance when he was the Intercontinental Champion and faced off and defended the Intercontinental title against Bret Hart at WrestleMania 8 inside the Hoosier Dome. To the far right, we have a mashup. We have the same Hall of Fame figure of Roddy Piper. However, we have the entrance greats head from the early days of the Mattel line. We have a custom shirt, and we have the skirt that came on that entrance great figure, which was a basic. And you know Elite Legend feels that basics are gross. The bagpipe also came with the entrance great figure. And now we see Mr. T times 2. These are the only 2 Mr. T's in the Elite Collection, the only 2 WWE Mr. T action figures ever released. The Jakks Classic Superstar line did not have a Mr. T. However, Jakks did release a couple of Clubber Lang figures from their Rocky line. So now, we see the Ringside Collectible Exclusive Mr. T on the left, and we see the SDCC Exclusive Mr. T that came out earlier this year. I still haven't reviewed that figure. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see a SDCC Exclusive Mr. T action figure review. Prior to that epic encounter at WrestleMania 2, Mr. T and Roddy Piper faced off on opposing ends in the main event of WrestleMania 1. An event that would change the face of professional wrestling forever. Here we see the defining moments Hulk Hogan, my custom Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and the SDCC Mr. T. We also see the Legends Tag Team Series 1 Cowboy Bob Orton. We see my mashup Roddy Piper. And we see the Legends Series 8 Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Check out my WWE playlist to see my Mr. Wonderful review. In the lead up to WrestleMania 2, Cowboy Bob Orton, Roddy Piper's loyal bodyguard, faced off against Mr. T on an episode of Saturday night's main event in a warm-up for their big encounter at WrestleMania. Here we see the Cowboy Bob Orton head on the Piper body. Now here is the reason why I decapitated my Ringside Exclusive Piper. This scan is amazing. This is now going to be the babyface 80s representation of Roddy Piper in my Good Guides shelf. That's right. The adorable one, Adrian Adonis, had better watch his back because the Hot Rod of 1987 is coming for him. Now here we see Mr. T with the gloves off, both literally and figuratively, as he tosses Cowboy Bob Orton into the turnbuckles, while the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, puts the adorable one to sleep. Now Elite Legend is about to put this video to sleep, but first off, I want to thank you guys for the continued support. If you haven't already done so, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I pity the fool that isn't alerted to Elite Legends' new WWE videos. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have this set? Are you going to get this set? What's your favorite Roddy Piper moment? What's your favorite Mr. T moment? Do you love your mama as much as Mr. T? I know Elite Legend does. Now until next time, make mine elite.